Hi, it's Rika, and I'm just making a very short rambling video because I wanted to talk about something. Also, I'm only wearing my head right now because the rest of my fursuit is recovering from a con I did. But I was just cleaning Rika, and I was thinking about how Rika was created. So I wanted to make a small video about how fursonas come to life. I know probably no one's gonna watch this, I just wanted to talk about it for a little bit. So, there are a couple of ways fursonas come to life. The most common way is people grabbing a ref sheet, either creating one or using a template one, and designing their perfect character, the way they want to represent themselves on a piece of paper, on digital art, whatever, and that's how they come up with their persona. They choose the species they like, they use colors they like, use add-ons that really make it feel like you, and that's how most personas are created, but that's just only one of the 1,000 ways it happens. The second one that I've seen a lot is pre-mates. Either pre-made fursuits, pre-made characters, and the character starts to grow on you. So that's one of the ways that fursonas get created. Mostly, it's a representation of yourself. It's self-expression. Now, Rika wasn't created in one of those other ways. Rika actually was created because of disability, I guess. Rika wasn't designed to be a perfect representation of myself. In fact, Rika wasn't even designed at all. Look back to me at 13, 14 years old, and I just got into the furry community, and I desperately wanted a fursuit, you know, like all 13-year-old furries. But I couldn't get one because no money, no fursuit skills. And I just decided to have a go at it, and my dad brought home some foam from shipping boxes because he works at the airport, and I got that foam and I looked at it and I was like, this is it. I'm going to make a fursuit head, even if it kills me, even if I have no idea what I'm doing, I'm going to make a fursuit head. So I started crafting the base, and if I can find a picture of it, I'll put it up somewhere. And I was actually pretty happy with how that turned out. It kind of looked like a wolf. I knew Rika was gonna be a wolf, or my fursona was gonna be a wolf, because at the time I was in the Therian community, and, well, my Theritype was a wolf. Now, I'm not a Therian, but I am in the alter-human community, and the creature I have non-human experiences with are wolves. Now, I do identify as human, I don't identify as an animal, I just have animalistic experiences because the way my brain works, apparently. But yeah, I knew it was gonna be a wolf. There was no single doubt in my mind. So I crafted the base, and it kind of looked canine, which I was really happy with. But I had no idea which color she was gonna have. No idea what patterns she was gonna have. And I just made it up as I went, and I had no idea where to buy fur. Literally no idea. And we went to a fabric store, me and my mom, because I wanted to buy fur. And lo and behold, they had very low quality carnival craft fur. And they had green, orange, purple, turquoise, light blue, and darker blue / royal blue. Now, I think you can guess which colors I picked. But first, I was going to pick royal blue and purple. So Rika could have been purple. She just could have been purple. And I was like, I kind of feel these colors, but then my mom was like, it doesn't really fit. Those colors they don't match at all. I mean, blue and purple match, but the colors they had there were just hideous. And she was like, why don't you pick the lighter blue? And I held the darker and the lighter blue together, and something just clicked in my brain, and it went, yeah, that's it. That's me. And those were the only colors they had. I couldn't have chosen any others. Those were the colors that existed at the time in that store, and that was the choice I had for my fursona. So I went home with the darker blue and the lighter blue, and I remember just riding in the car and looking at the back seat where the furs sitting next to each other, and I just felt this intense euphoria and happiness because my character was gonna come to life, and that character just didn't exist yet. She just didn't exist yet. And then I crafted Rika, not at home, but at a mental hospital where I was because my mental health was so extremely fucked up. And I'm not going to go into detail, but I was at a youth facility that is basically meant for just trying to get your mental health back up, and I was just going through a really rough time. So at the mental hospital, I had my fursuit base, I had my collars, I had a very cheap glue gun, hot glue gun, and I had some glue sticks, and I was like, I'm gonna have to do it. And I had no idea how, so I just draped the fur over the head, and it looked terrible, and it's like, okay, I'm just gonna have to say fuck it and do it. And I started with the turquoise lighter blue, draped it over there, started gluing and cutting and gluing, and she was completely light blue, no markings. And then I was like, what markings am I gonna use? Actually have no idea. So I drew some stuff on a piece of paper, and I was like, okay, I kind of want the dot eyebrows. I knew I wanted those. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the ears dark and then the inside light. I just draped pieces of paper on the base and started lining some things up, and this is what happened right there. I started cutting it, the fur, just directly cutting the fur, and it was rounded up here. As you can probably see in one of the pictures, it was rounded. I glued it on top. Same with the ears. I just glued it on top, and then I still had a problem because the blue here just stopped, which I didn't like. So I literally just cut out a circle. Well, not really a circle. It kind of looked like a vase, and I pasted it on there, and that's how Rika was born. And if you want to watch the video, it actually exists of me revealing my first fursuit. And if the background seems a little bit weird and grayish, and it's because, you know, mental hospital. Don't worry, I'm completely fine now, and I got out of it, and I'm cool now. But that is how Rika came to be. Not designed, not looking for perfection, just making what I physically and mentally could at the time. That has actually built up so much meaning for Rika, because she was not made to be perfect. She was made to just exist, which is my current lifestyle right now. I'm just existing, and that's okay to just be there and exist. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have the perfect life. You just have to be you, and I just have to be Rika, not a complicated creature, not a perfectly designed to the last detail, just what I can do rather than what should be perfect. And that's why Rika is so special to me. And I know there's a meme of like, why a blue dog? Because wolves and dogs and foxes are the most used species, and blue is the most used color. And people are like, I've had people say, oh, you're so generic. And I'm like, yeah, my design is very basic, and my design is very simple, and that's the whole point. And that's how I like to exist. And yeah, that's why Rika is so important. And I've tried designing a different character than Rika. I wanted to make that perfection, and I came up with a couple of designs. If I can find them, I put them up there. I wanted perfection, I wanted complexity, and those characters just never ever stuck. And I just fell back on Rika, especially in 2020. I was like, I'm gonna give her the fursuit she deserves, instead of what I had at the time. So yeah, and now this is where Rika is, and she's more me than anything. I also have my other characters, which I'm just gonna leave out the picture for now. But yeah, that's it. That's how Rika came to be. Thank you for watching this video. It's a bit rambly and not interesting probably for you, but if you're watching this, you're really cool, and thank you for listening to my story about Rika. So yeah, thank you, and have a very nice day.